What's good, Washington fans? It's been a long time. It's the off season. Not a lot of things going on. I got my elite channel members on. We should have a lot of fun tonight. A shout out a couple people in the chat here. What's up, Hepistus, Jordan Elias? What's up, man? James Panda. Shout out to John Parton. He's a channel member as well. If you do want to become a channel member, the link is down below. He says reefer is legal in Virginia at midnight. Think I might try it. Yeah. Go ahead and do your thing, John. Go ahead and do your thing. Ava Ambrosio, he said, who is the all-time underrated Washington player? We'll get to that question. Prod M said Haskins of Dwayne is going to be a top 5 quarterback of all time when it's all said and done. Mark my words, you're a funny guy. You must be with John at midnight. But yeah, I mean, Dwayne is looking better with the Steelers. We might talk about that tonight too. Ben Roethlisberger has been hyping up Dwayne Haskins. I wish him nothing but the best. Caden Lake, what's up? Washington Report, what's going on? Tap King, shout out Tap King. Duck Calshon, what's going on? Lloyd the Hooper, what's up, man? So tonight I just want to get some catching up with you guys, man. My first question is just going to be, I want to catch up on you guys. Summer, how you guys been? Do you guys have vacation plans? And do you guys plan on going to training camp? Have you guys gotten tickets yet? And also, just what's going on with your channels? What do you guys want to promote first to start off? And Warpath, I'll go with you first.
All right. Summer's going well. I don't know what summer is actually. Yes, I do have. I've already booked a room for training camp. Going to be down there a couple of days, and then we've got the 2,000 subscriber giveaway that I'm gonna extend into July 15th. And I'm currently being assaulted by my cat, and I am just staying true to what I believe in and not being petty, unlike some people on this panel might be right beside me. I don't know, but I'm doing really well.
And shout out to On the Warpath. I got the shirt. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. You see Kenny right up there too. I got my own shirt. If you do want to get merch, the link is down below. If you want to get Warpath merch, go to his channel. You got the links on your channels, probably, of course. Yep. So make sure you guys sub up Warpath. He's an elite channel member. That's my guy. How about you, DC Bay?
What I'm doing this summer, man. Wow. Outside of trying to stay out this heat, man, just enjoying myself. I'm getting ready to sign up for the training camp. I don't know which day or that I'm going to be down there, but I'm hoping that it can be coincide with you all. I look forward to laughing and giggling in person, and just excited, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How about you, Oscar?
My summer is okay. Just a little quiet. I plan on going to training camp. I want to. It would be really cool for me because I've never, been to one. But aside from that, nothing much. My channel really has just been without Washington content. I just been talking about European soccer, Euros going on. So, yeah.
I feel you on that. I heard a lot of soccer's been going on. I don't really watch soccer at all, but make sure you guys sub Oscar. His link's down below. How about you, Kenny?
The summer has been fun, man. I've just been basically going to different parks, playing ball, getting content for the channel, man. I'm almost at 500 subs, man. So, everything is going well. Am I going to go to training camp? Probably not, but I will be going to football games. I'm about 10 minutes away from FedEx Field, so I will be catching some live games in person, man. But I just can't wait to put some more content out there. So my channel is basically basketball, but it's going to be pranks with basketball and also punishment. So make sure y'all go and check it out. It is hilarious. You know what I mean? And I got a lot of ideas that I'm going to do. I feel like this is my summer, and I'm probably going to blow up this summer.
Yes, sir. Make sure y'all sub up Kenny, man. His link's down below as well. He had a video where if you lose the basketball game, what was it, a game to 11 or something like that, you had to eat a cicada. All the cicadas are gone now. Thank goodness. Those things were annoying, but make sure you check them out. There's a video of him cooking the Catholic University basketball girls too, so this man can hoop. So my first question is, I know you guys heard about Tanya Snyder being named the co-CEO. I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on that. Do you think that's a move that Dan is making because he knows that the decision is going to come out from the NFL? Is it going to be bad for him? Is he going to be asked to be, or is he going to be suspended? I haven't really followed it too much. I just heard she got promoted to co-CEO. I just want to hear your guys' thoughts on that move. And Warpath, I'll let you go first.
I don't really know why everybody hates this move so much. I think Tanya Snyder's probably been the most competent person in the organization for 20 years, because anything that she's ran halfway successfully with the breast cancer awareness. I mean, Washington is the cream of the crop when it comes to pushing out that awareness. And then you know, you look at it from this standpoint as well too. Ever since that they made the name change, everything has been tied with Dan and Tanya Snyder. I don't really think she has any power, like, you know, what everybody's thinking, like sitting at the Death Star and having unlimited power. But I think she advises Dan, so you know, maybe she'll be more prominent as a face in the organization more than just sitting in the back row. But I mean, I ain't worried about it. I just think it's just something more of the change in Ashburn. And, you know, it's like I said, we got to trust the process. And as long as Ben Simmons ain't popping through the door shooting bricks like he's working at Home Depot, I think we'll be good.
So,
how about you, OG? I know you like Ben Simmons a lot, and I know you wouldn't mind him being traded to the Washington Wizards, but we'll talk about that later. What do you think about Tanya Snyder being named coach?
I think, as Corey said, I want to go a little deeper, man. I think this also is a marketing move, man, because as you know, more women are getting more involved in sports. Here it is, you're talking about a woman could be an NBA head coach as of this year, possibly Washington. So the more that a woman is involved, and considering that it's 12 women to each man, you figure you're going to start making more, I guess, getting more fans, selling more stuff. God knows we need fans in that building, because that building is almost as empty as a trash can after the trash man picked it up. So I think like Corey said, she's been the most competent thing to Snyder other than his shoes. And because they're very expensive, and I think people give him comments on that, but they hate to see him coming around. But I think she is the bread and butter to the success of this team, and she probably is the reason why he truly has made a change. So she probably put the old strap on and went in and while he was asleep. I don't know, but anyway, that's.
Well, all I'm gonna say is that Mr. Happy Thanksgiving, Dan Snyder. You know, Tanya's a better speaker. So it's probably a good move. What do you think, Oscar?
I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't hear about this move until yesterday, so I wasn't able to, dig as much. But from what I understand, from what I heard is that, Dan Snyder, if anything were to happen, from what I'm hearing, is that he wants the Washington organization to stay in the family. And from what I hear is that Tanya Snyder, I've heard, from certain years here and there that, she's involved with, breast cancer walks and all that. So I think, honestly, it's a good move. She could be that, whispering into Dan's ear, to help him out, because we have seen what he's done, over 2 decades now. So we'll have to wait and see. Only time will tell. But, a change is good, in my opinion.
Right. How about you, Kenny?
I feel like every move that Snyder has been making is calculated. And what I mean by that, let's go to the Ron Rivera hire, the Jennifer King hire, the Julie Donaldson. That thing came out with Darius Geis. I feel like he's trying to change the culture, he's flipping everything around. The minority guy, it's just a bunch of changes. So whatever he's doing right now, he's finally using his head and getting the hell out the way and letting the football people make football decisions. You know what I mean? He's putting the right people in place. I don't know who's in his ear, but keep talking to him. So, it's a good move.
Yeah, you all made some great points. He's made the moves with Jason Wright, getting Julie Donaldson, a lot of women and minorities. He had to change the culture. It was looking really bad. The culture was was damn bad. You know, like Bruce Allen, the opposite of what Bruce Allen said. It was damn bad. So he had to make some drastic changes. Got a new coach, new everything. So shout out to AM Hunter, man. He's a channel member as well. He says, "Yo, Edo, what's up, fellas? Prosperous day." Gotta love his profile picture, man. That's one of the best profile pictures out there. You already know what it is. Shout out to AM Hunter. So we did get small news on the name. How are you guys feeling about the name change, if there is even going to be a new name? And what name do you prefer? Do you want it to be Red Wolves? Do you want it to be Warriors? What name are you guys looking for? Or do you guys don't even care anymore? How about you, Warpath?
I don't really care at this point. Like I said, they could be the bootlickers, and as long as we're winning, I could care less. But seriously, get it right. We rush everything as a franchise, as a fan base, and when people are actually taking the time to do something, to actually get things right, they're talking to people, they're doing the research, they're actually acting like a business and an organization. And then we're like, oh God, why can't we have the name? Why can't we have the name? Why can't the calm down? Because they know there are going to be hurdles with this name. Not everybody's going to like the name, and you're going to have to win these people over with that. So how's the best way to win? You win on the field, and then everything else will make it a little bit easier. So I mean, I don't care at this point. I'm cool with Washington football team, and but I know for marketing purposes, that's not going to be the name. So whatever it is, I'm just going to rock it. It don't really matter to me at the end of the day. So yeah, but that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I can't do bootlickers. But
well, I'm trying to keep it PG for the family. So I would have said something else, but I'm not going to go there.
Yeah, I'm with you. I couldn't care if it was cupcakes. As long as we're winning 10 to 16 games or 15-2, 13-4, that's all I really care about. How about you, Oscar?
I'm in that camp. I don't really care what's in a name. As long as they win, you know, it's unfortunate, you know, that we're going through this, but at the end of the day, Washington won the division last year. I don't know if you know, as long as they win, it really doesn't matter to me if what the name is, as long as they win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you. Yeah, as long as we get these dubs, man, as long as we keep sweeping Dallas and sweeping the Eagles, and we got to get the Giants too. That's all I care about. How about you, OG?
I care about the name. I really do, because I I've been used to the Redskins, and I won't dive into the history of that. But you know, now that I know that we'll never be using that again, the Washington football team is kind of sticking, but I know it, like Corey said, it's not going to stick. I would love the Red Wolves. I'd love to hear us have a wolf pack back there in the end zone every time we get an interception or a touchdown or a fumble, or bust one of them quarterbacks up or something like that. But if not, I'll call it the Washington fans. We the one who've been robbed for 20 plus years because of this pervert that's been the owner. At the end of the day, call us the Washington fans, the Washington 12th man. I would care more about names like that, because it means something to the city. They took a lot from the city when they went to Maryland. And so, I mean, when you went to Maryland, you actually were under a curse. And this is when that name change really became like, you got to change it. You got to change it. They started losing up there. We had a clown by the team. I mean, we just went through a hell of an emotional roller coaster. And for the new fan base, man, I really want y'all to experience what the hell we seen in DC. You literally have DC, Maryland, and Virginia shut down. They will consider that a holiday. Pennsylvania Avenue is no longer Pennsylvania Avenue. Georgetown is no longer Georgetown. So that name means something when you're going up and down that. Man, you're bigger than the president. You're bigger than everything. We climbing on light poles and all that stuff. I'll be yelling, we the champions. Hail to the Redskins. So whatever this new name is going to be, it has to be powerful. It has to be epic, because I believe that we're headed in the right direction. And Lord help them, if we win this year, I'm telling you, there is nothing that's going to stop me from walking down I-95 to get to DC.
Yeah, I wish I was alive during those days too. You know, I still watch NFL Network and some of the VHS tapes. You know, I still watch them from time to time. But yeah, I just care about winning too. So how about you, Kenny?
The name is very, very important. You owe it to that defense a ferocious name. It has to be ferocious because they are ferocious. They are tenacious. They are not playing around. So you owe it to the defense, you know, a powerful name. Like DC Bay was saying, we need something that's going to stick, that's powerful. You know, can you imagine just being in a stadium, you know, and they howling Red Wolves, you know, and it's 4th and 1 on the goal line. And they fold Joe Burrow ass up and he fumble. You know what I mean? You owe it to us. You owe it to the defense. It has to be something, you know, that's just powerful. You know, a mascot with teeth. I don't know, bro. Like it got to be something crazy. I'm trying to go crazy when I'm in a stadium. I'm going to be, you know, tipsy a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm not even a drinker, but you just owe it to us. You owe it to the city. You owe it to the defense. A ferocious, tenacious name. I would say Red Wolves.
And talk about folding up. Instead of Joe Burrow, make it Dak Prescott. Shout out to Reddy.
Yeah. Bust his ass.
But yeah, I'm a Red Wolves guy. I definitely would like to hear the howl, just like you said, DC Bay. Shout out to Fred Smoot. He is the ambassador for the Red Wolves name. I would love for it to be the Red Wolves. I don't want it to be the Warriors because of the Golden State Warriors, but I think we definitely could use a name, of course. But Washington football team, it actually has grown on me. I'm probably in the minority, but it has grown on me a little bit. We are NFC East champs with that name, so I wouldn't be too mad if we did stick with it. But at the same time, we are kind of a laughing stock of the league because we kind of have that Madden or 2K created football team name right now. It's like a generic, just throwaway name. Shout out to Will Frederico with the first donation of the night. Not a big fan of your profile picture, but he says y'all miss Haskins. Big fan of the channel, by the way. Appreciate that. Whoever wants to go first to answer that question, you guys, whoever wants to go first.
Oh, Haskins?
Yeah. Warpath doesn't have an answer. He just has a laugh. That's his answer.
Oh God! Can I fold that $5? Can I roll that $5 and throw it at the next club? Is that what we're gonna do? Like
any donations are appreciated. You know?
We're gonna make it rain like Dollar Wayne, y'all. Yeah, I missed the glitter and the glam and the that was Dwayne Haskins.
I want to wish the guy all the best, man. But as far as I'm concerned, him being missed here, I don't miss him missing wide open wide receivers. I don't miss him missing to take the last snap and over there taking selfies. I don't miss none of that.
Bands to make her dance.
So at the end of the day, I wish the guy the best. I respect him for who he is, and I hope that he gets it on at Pittsburgh, and he can be who he wants to be, just not here. And if he comes here, and we play them, hey, you're gonna see if we miss him.
Shout out to Will Frederico. He has become a channel member as well. So shout out to my guy Will. Haskins, and I do like Dwayne Haskins. It just didn't work out here. He was overdrafted. Shouldn't have been the 15th pick. League done messed up. Remember the party where he was charging people to get in? I think it was $5 to get in. So that is ironic. That is ironic. But you know, it just didn't work out. I thought he played pretty well in the last two. I don't want to make this a Dwayne Haskins segment, but it is what it is. He played well in those last two games against the Eagles and the Giants, and then Scott Turner came in instead of Kevin O'Connell. And there's a lot of ways you can take it, but him not taking it seriously, being a starter, and the rumors and whatnot, it is what it is. We just wish the guy the best with the Steelers learning under Big Ben, and I'll just leave the Haskins talk at that. How about you, Oscar?
I hope things go well in Pittsburgh. I'm interested to see if he'll have the same, mentality that he had here in Washington, goofing off. And the coaching staff over there is worse. So And remember, this is only like what, mini camp, training camp. He showed that he was good in training camp last year, but he never was able to translate that into the regular season. So Pittsburgh can't, get all hyped because he's looking good in training camp. He needs to translate that to games. So only time will tell with him, is what I say.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think he can definitely benefit from a preseason. He missed that last year. He missed mini camp. He missed had not having OTA. I think that did hurt him, but we'll see what happens. How about you, Kenny?
Actually, the coaching staff at Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin's a hell of a coach.
Mm-hmm.
So he might do well because I feel like Mike Tomlin, he's gonna light a fire under him. He's gonna fix his mechanics because Haskins has talent. He just needs somebody to help him, and at the same time, not hinder him. You know what I mean? And I feel like Pittsburgh, that organization is so tight knit, and they don't care who it is, they'll cut you. Antonio Brown, they'll get rid of you. You know what I mean? I feel like he's going to do well there because they're going to fix him. He has the talent. He just, needs to fix those mechanics that could be worked on. I wish him the best. You know what I mean? Just not if we play him or we play against him.
Mm. Yeah, I think Mike is the perfect coach for him. Is the perfect coaching staff for him. They are going to take their time with him. If he doesn't beat out Mason Rudolph for the backup, then it's like, okay, yeah, you might have to take.
He's going to beat them out.
Yeah, I think he should. But if he doesn't, then yeah, there's rumors about Johnny Manziel going to the DC Defenders. Cardell Jones is on the DC Defenders, so he's going to have a lot of competition on the DC Defenders if he can't beat out Mason Rudolph. We got another donation here. Shout out to Red Wings 01. He said, thoughts on Tanya Snyder being named CEO. We talked about that earlier, but just to reiterate, we think it's a good move. Nobody in the chat said it was a cover up for Dan, like to say if he was suspended or anything like that. We've had a lot of minority hires, and she's a good lady. She means well, so it's a good hiring or good promotion by Dan the Man, Mr. Thanksgiving. So another question here is I want to get you guys' thoughts on Darius Geis, another former Washington football player. The charges were dropped on Geis. A lot of people have been asking on Twitter and around, Antonio Gibson, the toe, is it really healed? Is he really going to be ready for day one? I think he's going to be ready for day one. I wouldn't play him in preseason. You look at the running back room, the outlook of the room. You have Peyton Barber. You have J.D. McKissick, who had a great year last year, 80 catches on the season, which is incredible. Peyton Barber was a good third down back, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. Didn't have many yards per carry, but he was a solid running back. And then we got Lamar Miller and Jarrett Patterson. I know this is crazy, but I know what you guys' answer is probably going to be. But would you consider bringing back Darius Geis to the Washington football team? Since he's not guilty, y'all got to fill me. Also, Bill Cosby was released from prison as well today, if for whatever it's worth. So guys are getting off. My bad, Warpath. I shouldn't say good get off. I didn't mean to say that. But but Deshaun Watson, he's going to be innocent as well. I didn't say get off. He's going to be innocent. So what are your thoughts on Darius Geis? Is he another DC Defender player, or do you think somebody's going to give him a shot in the NFL or wherever? And Warpath, I'll let you go first.
Well, crank out the pudding pops, get the Jell-O, and put the pills to the side, flush them down the toilet, because either which way we celebrating. And they got that Mary Jane legal in Virginia now. I mean, you can have marijuana infused Jell-O pudding pops, and we can celebrate everything. It'll knock you out. Kind of like what Darius Geis allegedly did, not trying to get sued. But no, he couldn't stay healthy. I mean, he's a good talent, but I think there's probably still some issues he needs to work through. And I don't think where this organization is at, that it's going to, it's not going to lend itself to picking up that headache again, because it's going to be like, well, why did you cut him? Why did you cut him? Why didn't you stick with him? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? So yeah.
Okay. And who's your are you keeping 3 or 4 running backs to start off the roster? And who's your 3 or 4 that you think makes the roster?
I think he got Gibson. I think McKissick, and I think Patterson will make it. And I think Peyton Barber. I think what he did last year, I think he deserves to make the roster if he doesn't mess up. He was your short yardage back. I mean, are we forgetting this? So, like, people don't be disrespectful to that man. A lot of people are hating. They're hating on him like this guy's name is Ryan Fitzpatrick Barber II, and this is what people are doing to him. So I'd say Peyton Barber has a great opportunity to make this roster, and I think you could have 4 running backs.
Okay. Yeah, he's not a pretty guy. He's not gonna hit home runs. He's gonna be ugly. He's gonna have 17 carries for 39 yards, but he's gonna get the first down. He's gonna get a touchdown once in a while. So I think he's a strong. He has a strong case of making a roster. How about you,
OG? My answer for Darius Geis is absolutely no. Gibson has already played more games than him, had more carries than him, had more catches than him, had more touchdowns than him, had more yards than him, has been a bigger impact than him, and on and off the field. Darius Geis, to me, will probably be back in the league after 2 years after they make him suffer for a little while, because he do have the talent. He do know how to play the game. But at the end of the day, what's going to be in the back of everybody's mind is, did he get it yet? Did he get it yet? I hear he's selling stuff and all that stuff like that. Like, did he get it yet? That's going to be the biggest thing for him. I don't think he's going to be playing the DC at all. Not for the Avengers, not for Dunbar, not for those schools. I just think that he will do himself a favor to go elsewhere, get himself all the way back together. Like, his mind, his heart, because you got to be in the NFL. You got to have a heart, a passion for the game, and your mind got to be beyond you, because you're playing for 52 other dudes. Whether you on the field or not, your impact on the sideline means the most. And on the off the field, it means a lot. None of that he did contribute. So at the end of the day, I don't think he will be in the NFL in 2 years unless Baltimore picks him up, because all they do is run the ball. God knows they don't have a quarterback that's throwing the ball. So they're going to run the ball. So maybe they pick him up. I don't know. But I do agree with Warpath on the 4 running backs. I truly do. I just believe that Gibson, McKissick, and Barber are the 3, and then Patterson will probably be the 4th. And if anybody was to go around, God forbid, I would rather go get Adrian Peterson. I don't even want to hear anything about Darius Geis. Let him go on and live his life. He's already done flashed and did what he needed to do. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you. Red Wing said, too bad Bryce Love didn't work out. I remember it was supposed to be Bryce Love, Darius Geis. It was supposed to be a dynamic duo, but it never worked out. Injuries just really kill these guys, and bad decisions by Darius Geis off the field. How about you, Oscar?
I think no. I do think that he will be picked up eventually. It's just, you got to remember, the old regime drafted him, and this new regime cut him. So, there is no space for him here. Antonio Gibson produced more. He does have that injury history. So as much, because we saw the talent in that one game back in 2019 with the Lions. I liked what I saw, and I was looking forward to seeing it, full on. But the issues off the field, got him cut, and then we saw what Antonio Gibson is. I do think he'll be, he'll get that second chance, but not here in Washington. As I think the 4 running backs mentioned, I'm going to go with Warpath and DCA and agree with them on the 4 running backs that make the roster.
Do you think the turf toe is a concern at all? You think Gibson is going to be ready for the season?
I mean, that's a tough call. The good news is I don't want to say no and I don't want to say yes, but the good news is that Washington, they do have McKissick, they do have Patterson to do the heavy lifting, and of course they got that the third down back and Peyton Barber. So if Antonio Gibson is not healthy by week, it's no big deal in my opinion. And we have that running back group is stacked with what Ron Rivera and Scott Turner want to do on that offense.
That is true. We do have depth. How about you, Kenny?
No on Geist. We don't need him. Is he going to get picked up? Yeah, I think he showed enough in that Carolina game that he played, where he got Ron Rivera fired. Someone's going to be like, that boy could play. You know what I mean? And he's not guilty. Go ahead and sign him. Somebody's going to sign him this year. He's not going to sit 2 years. His thing wasn't on video like Ray Rice. You know what I mean? I don't think I've never seen no footage of that. So it's just hearsay, and someone's going to take a chance on him. As for the running backs, definitely Patterson. A lot of people not hip to him. Go watch his film. I think he's pretty shifty, like Sproles, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I mean? I think he's pretty shifty. Peyton Barber. I don't have nothing bad to say about him because every time we're in the goal line, he scored. I don't think no one stopped him from scoring at all since he's been a Washington football team member. He's on the goal line. He's getting in the end zone, just handling the ball 4 straight times, 3. He's getting in there. He does all the grunt work. We had a guy by the name of, I think his name was Sellers, Mike Sellers, and we used to do the same thing with him. Just give him the ball and he will score. So I would keep all 4 of them. I would keep, McKissick, of course. Gibson. That's our top dog. And like I said, all 4 of them. And then Patterson, he's shifty. He's shifty. Don't be surprised. You'd be like, whoa, he's getting just as much touches as Gibson. You know what I mean? He might shock some people.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Ron said he could be like a Darren Sproles. Patterson said he models his game over Maurice Jones-Drew, but that was a good point you made about Geist. Geist is going to get picked up. I remember when the allegations first came out, and like you said, it's not on camera. So when you're not on camera, you're basically going to get you're going to get away, or you're going to be found innocent.
Love don't fit. You must quit.
Yep. Why you think Bill Cosby's walking free?
You see? He's back there.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson, he's gonna be walking free pretty soon. Yep. Robert Kraft, Jerry Jones, all these guys. Ruben Foster, but
LSU, don't forget that carries a lot of weight.
What'd you say?
He's banned from LSU.
That is true. That is true. There was an elderly woman that said something about him too. So but he's got a lot of off the field issues. But we'll transition and talk about guys who are actually on the roster right now. But DMV Sports Zone, shout out to him. Make sure you guys sub him up. He's a Washington football team YouTuber. Does Washington Wizards content, does Nationals content. I think he does some DC Defenders content as well. So make sure you guys sub him up, man. He says top 5 Washington football teamers. His choice is Brandon Sheriff, 2 Chase Young, 3 Terry McLaurin, 4 Montez Sweat, and 5 Jonathan Allen. That's a pretty good list. I have a different list. This is a good question. Warpath, I'll let you go first.
Oh, I see what you're talking about now. Yeah, see, not as trifling because he know good and well that ain't no reason why Sheriff should be number 1. That's just trifling.
Yeah,
it should be Chase Young. It should be Brandon Sheriff too. I think Terry is right there. Montez, you know what? He is trifling. Not no John Allen either. I think I wouldn't even put John Allen in my top 10 to be honest with you.
I take over him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I take Matty I before him. But yeah, I think Nante did that to be trifling. He know good and ham sandwich well that Brandon Sheriff backed up into that thing like he was getting ready to be Bay, trying to back into Kevin Sheehan's Rolls Royce or something. So that's trifling.
One thing I will say, and DV Sports Zone just said the same thing, that Brandon Sheriff was all pro. He's not my number 1 player either, but he's definitely top 5.
Backed up into the all pro. When all your best guards are left guards and you only have a few right guards, like this is the argument that people have made. The guy misses a month. This ain't baseball. You ain't missing nothing if you only miss a month in baseball. You miss a month in football, that's your season.
Yeah.
Come on now. Y'all, like, I get it. He's good. He's a good guard. He's a great right guard. But he's a liability at the end of the day. He really is, man. I think he is. All these other guys, they stay healthy. Heck, Montez Sweat, he's had a heart condition that he was diagnosed with. That don't stop him from going out there. I leave it. I'm sorry, Ed.
No, this is fun. You know,
I'm trying to be a Christian. I can't be acting like that. So
no, it's fine. I mean, Brandon Sheriff. One thing I will say, he played 13 games last year, which isn't bad. That's pretty solid. He played 13 games, 13 starts. It's not terrible. It's not bad. Now, the last couple seasons, he played 11 games and he played 8 games the year before. I'm looking at the numbers. So he did a lot better last year with playing. He did a lot better. So I'll give Brandon Sheriff that. He was a legitimate All-Pro. I'll give him his credit. But he's not number one on my list. Did you give your top 5 yet, Warpath?
I got to go back let me see here. So I had Young at 1. I had Sheriff at 2. Terry McLaurin at 3, and I think Montez was at 4, and I think my 5th, I had it written down here. 5th was Montez Sweat, and then Antonio Gibson was 4th there. That's what I had. So,
okay. Yeah. Who was your 5th again?
It was Sweat.
Okay.
That's what I had there.
Okay, it's a good list. How about you, OG?
Man, you already know it's going to be Chase off the break. It's going to be my main man, Terry. It's going to be my main man, Deron Payne. Then we're going with Sweat. And because even though the guy missed the whole full season in 3 years, when he's out there and not holding, he is an animal. I don't think he's an All-Pro, but I believe he's an animal. And I'm going to give Brandon Sheriff number 5 for me.
Okay. How about you, Oscar?
McLaurin number 1. Give me the Bama boys 2 and 3, in either or order.
You think they're better than Chase Young?
Oh wait, no. Yeah, Chase Young number 2, the Bama boys 3 and 4, Montez Sweat number 5.
Okay, not bad. And did you have Brandon Sheriff on the list?
No.
Okay. Where would you have him? Where do you think is he at 6 or is he at?
I would put him at 6.
Put him at 6. Okay. That's different. How about you, Kenny?
Chase Young number 1, of course, and then after Chase Young, I would say Terry number 2. After Terry, I will probably have to go Montez Sweat. No. I'm sorry. Deron Payne. And it's a toss-up between Sweat and Tress Way. People don't understand how Tress Way impacts the game, right? Because they don't, I watch football like everything. He doesn't mess up. He changes the game. You know what I mean? Tress Way. I got to put him in the top 5. I wouldn't even put Sheriff in. He'd be like 7 for me because you can't make the club if you're in the tub, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you be always hurt. And I get it. You're a mauler. You know what I mean? You're a mauler, but you're always on the sideline, mauling the sideline. You know what I mean? So he'd be like number 7 for me. So again, Chase Young, Terry, Deron Payne, Tress Way, and who else am I missing? Not Brandon Sheriff. Probably Sweat.
Landon Collins.
Hell no. He can't cover nobody. 2 left feet. He hit hard though. We need to switch the linebacker.
All right, my 5. I got Terry McLaurin number 1. He just hasn't played with a good quarterback. He's played with 3 mediocre quarterbacks. Has he played with 5 quarterbacks? I think he's played with Kyle Allen, Dwayne Haskins, Alex Smith, Case Keenum, and I feel like he played with another quarterback too. But yeah, like 4 or 5 different quarterbacks. It still has put up the numbers. Imagine if he played with a top 15 quarterback. Like, imagine what he could do. He could probably put up at least 1,500 yards pretty easily. He stays healthy. Except for the last couple of games, he played on a high ankle sprain, had 2 bad had two bad ankles, I think, and still went out there and balled against the Eagles. So I think he's the number one player on the roster.
You're thinking of Colt, Ed.
He played with Colt McCoy?
Yeah,
he
He
played
did
with
play with Colt McCoy.
that one game against New England.
Wow, that just shows you how good he is. And then after that, I go with Chase, Sheriff number 3, Montez Sweat number 4, and then Matt Ioannidis number 5. So that's my list for me. Chase Young definitely should at least. I don't know about All Pro this year, but I'm looking at least 9 sacks from Chase Young this year. Shout out to Red Wings 01. Thank you for another donation. He said Shane Bryce Love didn't work out. He was a great guy and arguably greater talent than Darius Geis, but couldn't get past the one injury. I think for the donation on that one. So let's get to the quarterback talk. That's been the talk of the town for the off season. So Ron Rivera did say it's going to be a real quarterback competition this year. Last year, he said he regretted not having one with Dwayne Haskins and Kyle Allen. Do you guys believe that Ron Rivera is telling the truth, that this will be a legitimate competition? Do you think Heineke has a chance to beat out Ryan Fitzpatrick? And also, he hasn't really mentioned Kyle Allen at all. Do you think? Why do you guys think that is? Him not mentioning Kyle Allen? And Warpath, I'll let you go first.
One, I don't think Kyle Allen's healthy enough probably to play. So I think that's why he's probably not mentioning him as much. And I think that it's going to come down to Fitzmagic and Heineke. I mean, honestly, it's going to be it's going to be like, do you want somebody to spit in your food, or you want them to pee in your food at the end of the day with this quarterback situation? So we'll choose it. We'll choose it either which way, man.
No, I don't know if it's that bad. I don't think it's a John Beck, Rex Grossman.
Oh, it is. That's exactly what it is, Ed. It's exactly what it is. John Beck and Rex Grossman.
See, it's not that bad. Now, Ryan Fitzpatrick, I can't hype him up, even though he was he was number 5 in QBR last year. He was the number 1 quarterback under pressure. And I'm not the biggest Ryan Fitzpatrick fan either. And there's a lot of Ryan Fitzpatrick fans out here now. If you say something bad about Ryan Fitzpatrick, there's a lot of Washington fans that will come out and defend him. I don't want people to, get bamboozled and fooled. He has played well the last 2 years, so I'll give him his credit. But I am being cautiously optimistic about Ryan Fitzpatrick. But I do think this is a lot better than John Beck and Rex Grossman. I'll say that. And Heineke, who knows? How about you, OG?
I think it's going to be a quarterback. I think it's going to be a serious competition. I do, because Heineke is going to get in the game in one of those preseason games, and he's going to show that he can throw that ball and hit them going downfield and across the middle a lot faster. Now, it's going to be up to the veteran experience of Fitzpatrick. But the other guy that y'all mentioned, Kyle Allen, man, that dude is nothing but a clipboard holder. He's a clipboard holder at best. He won't even see the field this year. Heineke bulked up for a reason.
How about Montez?
Ryan Fitzpatrick knows for every turnover he turns the ball over, that defense is capable of getting that ball right back, so he can make up for it. So all them threes that we were getting, those could be.
So do you think Heineke has a legit shot?
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. I truly believe he has a hell of a shot. If I really had a brain, I will put my money that he started day one.
So does it play a factor that Ryan Fitzpatrick got $10 million? Because the narrative right now is that he got paid the money, so he's just automatically going to start. I'm not with that narrative. I seen, you look at the Seahawks, Matt Flynn got paid and Russell Wilson. I'm not saying tell Heineke's Russell Wilson, but we've seen a scenario like that happen. So do you think the $10 million is showing that it's already Ryan Fitzpatrick's job?
Trust and believe, sir. Ron got his ass chewed out by his wife last year for putting Haskins in there. That's another reason why Snyder's wife is in it because Ron's wife speaks, and when she speaks, he listens. Trust and believe. He don't want to go to sleep knowing that she may punch him in his daggone tibia or something like that because he done put it in somebody like Haskins because he just wanted to do it just to do it. You got to be 100% sure that this is the guy that you're going to ride with because this is not a 7-9 team. This is not a 7-9 team. There were 3 games we should have won last year. 2 of them was because of Ron's decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, this could be something special. I'm not discrediting or discounting that schedule we got, but at the end of the day, he better have the right dude in there, or that mustache and his eyebrows are going to get cut off. Because I'm gonna come up there and cut him off on his ass.
How about you, Oscar? Do you think it's a real quarterback competition, or do you think Heineke has a legitimate shot?
Yes and yes. Because Ron, there's saying you live and you learn. Ron Rivera lived through the experience of Dwayne Haskins. He gave him, he gave him the starting job, and we saw what mistake that was. So here, we have Ryan Fitzpatrick and Taylor Heineke, and Ryan Fitzpatrick isn't as bad as Dwayne Haskins, but he can lose a job. I think Taylor Heineke is going to show something in training camp and in preseason where Ron Rivera is going to be forced to say, all right, you're going to be starting day one. Ryan Fitzpatrick, I know we gave you $10 million, but unless Taylor Heineke stinks it up in the regular season, you'll be our savior. But it's Taylor Heineke's job, in my opinion. He's gonna ultimately beat out Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I think it can happen. I think it can happen. I got a feeling that Ron's just gonna start Fitz just to start him, but I think honestly Fitz is better coming off the bench anyway. He really is. How about you, Kenny?
I'm definitely 100% with Oscar on this one. We thinking the same, buddy. I think that Heineke is going to come in preseason, do some off-schedule things, scramble out of the pocket, Willie Beeman style, throw it on the run, hit Cam Sims downfield, more than one time. And then we're going to look at each other, like, oh, okay, we might have something right here. We might have something. Or what could happen is he could be a John Beck. But I'm leaning towards maybe Russell Wilson. The reason why I say that is because I watched that playoff game. It was like no pressure. Like he was just playing like a vet. I was just like, oh, he all right. I thought he was gonna get blown out, and all of a sudden I was like, "Oh, we really got a chance. This boy can play. He came to play. That backyard style. That's what we need. We need a QB like that could do something when things break down. That can make you miss. You know what I mean? To scramble, a threat to scramble, because now you have options. You can hand it off to Gibson. You can run the read option and let Heineke keep it. He can make you miss if you try to blitz him off the end and off schedule play. So I'm banking and I'm hoping that he just does something so spectacular that everybody around the world is just like, man, you got to start this guy. And Ron, the type of guy, he's going to probably start him. That's why I like Ron. Ron don't care how much you get paid when you was drafted, where you grew up at, if you was in the street or you was come from the Harvard background, he's going to play the best player available. Period.
I'm with you, man. I mean, Heineke, the legend of Taylor Heineke, for him to go toe-to-toe with Tom Brady in a playoff game under the lights in Sunday Night Football, there's a lot of guys that would have been scared, a deer in the headlights. Was a
good defense too, Ed.
It was. I know they didn't have Devin White, but they still had Sue. They still had JPP, like you said, OG with 4 fingers. They still had all those guys. They still had Antoine Winfield. They had a good defense, and he was the best in the playoffs. He had the best quarterback performance against that defense in the playoffs. So we just can't discredit Heineke. I think a lot of people dismiss him because he was undrafted out of ODU. Didn't even start on the XFL on the Battle Hawks. So it's not a second start. I compare him. I think he's like a Jeff Garcia, even like a Tony Romo. He makes plays off schedule. So I am sipping on some of the Heineken. I really am. I don't want to sip the Kool-Aid too much, but I am. I'm a Heineken guy. I am. I just want to see more. I want to see more. I think he has potential to be a solid starter in the NFL. I really think I think he has the tools, and he's fearless, like you said, Kenny. The guy's not scared. He can play. I mean, both games. He only played 1.5 games, and he gained 15 pounds to get stronger. So I just want to see more from the guy. I really, if Ron just started Heineke and just said it today and announced it, I wouldn't blink an eye at all. I really wouldn't. My next question is, which wide receivers you guys think will make the roster? Do we keep 5, 6, or 7? Oh, shout out to Chase Young. Chase Young is in the building. Chase Young, I know you're going to be on Family Feud. I know you've done a couple commercials. It's okay. You missed out on OTAs. There's some people on the radio bashing you for not being at OTAs. It's all good, man. It is all good. I couldn't care less. You were there at mandatory minicamp when there was guys on the roster who missed mandatory minicamp for personal reasons, but you were there. You know, you got guys, holding out for contracts, but Chase Young, you were there. So shout out to you, man. Go do your thing. Go do your thing with Under Armour. Go do your thing with Steve Harvey on Family Feud. Keep doing your thing, Chase Young. Thank you for the donation. Shout out to Chase Young for showing up in the building. So yeah, the question is, but yeah, I'll get to another donation. Shout out to Alexander Wilson. He is a channel member as well. He says Chris Cooley said that Fitzpatrick took all the first team reps at OTAs, and Taylor didn't take one first team snap. That means it's Fitzpatrick's job. And anybody can go and respond to the donation or to the statement.
You talking about the Fitzpatrick and starting over Heineke?
Yeah, to Alex's statement.
That right now, that's all smoke screen. When the preseason kick off, they all gonna get a shot at with the number one. Whoever is consistent and look the best will be there.
Yeah, I'm with you. I did hear that too. I did hear that Fitz took all his first team reps, but we got a long way to go. We got training camp, we got preseason. Heineke did really well with the Vikings in preseason, so I think he's going to do pretty well in preseason as well. So it's going to be a fun competition to watch. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Fitz does some good things too, so it is going to be a legitimate competition. The real Chase Young, man. Thank you for the donation. You are a baller, man. Thank you, man. I know you're going to get that.
That might really be him.
I think it is him, to be honest with you.
It might really be him.
I think that's him.
Yeah, he pulling out that bag. He got that Hank.
Yeah, he did. He did say DeMatha in the comments as well. Chase did go to DeMatha. Shout out to Chase. Hey, Chase, I just seen you take a picture with Floyd Mayweather as well. You've been having a real good summer, man. I saw you. I don't know if you're out in Vegas right now, but shout out to Chase Young, man, for real. The Predator. But I wanted to ask you guys about the wide receivers. Who you think is gonna make the roster, 5 or 6, or would you keep 7? That back half is pretty tough. You got AGG, Harmon, Dax Milne. Steve Sims is still technically on the roster. Then you got Isaiah Wright and some other back end guys. I think Jeff Badette's not on the roster anymore, but the wide receiver core has gotten a lot better. I think that's our most improved position group on the whole roster right now. I'm excited for the wide receiver core. I really am. How about you, Warpath?
No, man, I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys can do. It's just going to be the fact of who's getting them the ball. And, you kind of go back to that point, but you got Terry, you got Curtis Samuel, who's a go-go gadget player for the most part, De'Ami Brown. And then I think it gets interesting after that. I think you're going to keep 6 wide receivers. I think Cam Sims is a good candidate because they've given him so many praises. It's going to be interesting to see AGG and Kelvin Harmon going up against each other because I think they're fighting for a roster spot. And a lot of people have said, well, they drafted this guy, so they're going to keep AGG. Not necessarily now. Ron has cut 4th-round picks in their second year. So it's happened before. It's just going to see how healthy Kelvin Harmon is. And I think that Dax Milne is a guy that that anyone shouldn't be selling short. The guy can run routes. I think he can field punts. So that's something we need. because y'all's boy Steve Sims last year, he cost us a game against Carolina that probably would have kept us at 8-8 and not have been at 500 under 500 going into the playoffs. But I like this wide receiver. I think it's going to be 6. I think it's the 6 that I said there. I think you're gonna. I think Kelvin Harmon does make this roster. I think Dax Milne does. I think that Steve Sims does, and then those other 3. I said I don't think Adam Humphries is going to make this roster.
And why don't you think, other than injury, why don't you think Adam Humphries would make the roster?
Injury. It's just like, I really do. And there's always. Ron just seems like he goes with youth over experience. He brings experience in. It's pretty much like it's like a consultant, right? It's like Bay. Like if they bring Bay out to coach the track team and everything, they say, "Hey, we're gonna give you a spot on the track team," right? They don't really want Bay to run. They just want to know that his experience, so these young cats can go on and do it. And Bay not going to the Olympics, but these young people are. So that's what it's like, man. I really do think they get them in there almost like a mentorship. And I think you'll see that more this year, that the young guys will still kind of move in place there.
Mm-hmm. And did you say Harmon is making it, or did you
I think Harmon will make it, man. I really do. I think at the end of the day, it's gonna come down to him and AGG, and I think Harmon's gonna make it, because you can't replace a guy who anything's thrown to him, he catches it like that. That's like, or turn him into a tight end, make him be like Niles Paul, right? But I think that guy, he has value on this squad.
All right, you said AGG is going to get cut?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you on AGG getting cut, but I disagree with you on Adam Humphries. I think if Adam Humphries does, and it's a big if he does stay healthy, I think he makes a roster. I think he's one of the better route runners on the roster. He's not a better route runner than Terry or Curtis, but I think he's one of the better route runners on the roster. I think he can definitely help. He's a chain mover. And if Fitz does start, the connection between those two is really, really good. So I like the sign. I like the poor man's Wes Welker, the poor man's Julian Edelman. He's better than Trey Quinn, so I like the signing of Adam Humphries for a 1-year deal. How about you, OG?
I honestly believe that Calvin Harmon is the 4th wide receiver, and he's going to be pushing for starting time. If he's healthy, he's going to be pushing for starting time. I like De'Ami Brown. I don't know if Curtis Samuel, if he'll be healthy day one, because he's been sitting down, nagging, nursing injury. But my starting 4, my first 4 is Terry, Curtis, De'Ami, Kelvin Harmon. I like Dax Mims to be number 5. I do, and I think we're going to trade the Cam Sims. I think he's going to be traded because he was mentioned earlier last month about teams may be trying to trade for him. And I think that's going to be a guy that we're going to possibly trade for. Trade in my eyes. If not, then he'll be the 6th guy. I think AGG will be off the team. I think that the little short dude, because we got 3 wide receivers that can play the slot. We got Diami and Curtis Sims and Terry. They can play the slot. So we don't need another little short dude that's just running across the middle that may get plastered or something like that. So I don't think he'll be on it. So that'll be my 6.
No, what do you think we could get for Cam Sims, or what do you think we would get?
I think at best probably a 5th round pick. And I do. And the reason I say that is because somebody is going to show off in preseason. Outside that 4 that I mentioned, somebody's going to show off so good that they're going to be like, man, we can't let this talent just go to waste. Now, if they keep 7, it's because they're keeping 3 running backs. That will be the only way we'll get to have our cake and eat it too. If we get 7 wide receivers and they keep 3 running backs. That's just my belief.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my belief.
I think Cam Sims will stay here. I know the drops are a concern, but I think he makes the team. And did you say anything about Steve Sims?
I don't even know who he is.
Oh man, how about you, Oscar?
I think we're gonna have 6. The top 3 will be Terry, Curtis, Diami. I think Calvin Harmon is gonna beat out AGG just because he did have that incredible 2019 season. Now I know that was 2 years ago, but he was, if he didn't get hurt, I guarantee you that, he would have been that second option for the quarterbacks last year. Cam Sims, and then I think Adam Humphries makes the roster.
Mm.
The rest are going to be cut.
Mm. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm probably one of the few people that's actually excited to see Adam Humphries play for the team. I'm excited to see Diami. I think Diami's going to have a heck of a. I think he's going to have a great career. I think he's going to be a Pro Bowl wide receiver. I think he can be. He's going to play that Jamison Crowder role for us, or even better. So I'm excited for those two guys. How about you, Kenny?
First, I want to say Cam Sims has gotten a lot better. He's also the tallest wide receiver on our team. He also been making plays. That's the little birdie put something in my ear, say he's been making plays, catching touchdowns on people, mossing people again. You know what I mean? So I don't think we're going to trade him. I think he's going to make the team. I think he's going to get a lot of playing time. Okay, so we got Terry, we got Curtis Samuel, we got Diami Brown, Dax Mims. I watched film on him. He plays exactly like Adam Thielen. Like he can run routes. You know what I mean? I think they sleeping on him. I don't know why. Go watch his film. I'm a film junkie. That's what I do. I just watch film. He always seems to get open and break people off. I said, oh, he could play. You know what I mean? So we have them. Now, I love Calvin Harmon, but he's coming off that injury. He's going to have to make a play. He's going to have to make a few plays, a lot of plays. Somebody's going to have to ball the hell out because there's so much talent. That's a good thing when you can cut talent. When you got too much talent, like, look, we got too many dudes that could play. That's good. That's always good. You know what I mean? So Humphries, he's going to stay too, only because Fitzpatrick stood on the table for him. That's his man. They played together. That's why he's here. A lot of people don't know that. That's why he's here. So he's probably going to stay, depending on how Fitzpatrick does. So it's going to be like a combo deal. If Heineke beats him out, Humphries might be gone. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be a combo deal. But my man is Cam Sims. Please don't sleep on Cam Sims. All he did was when we needed to play, make it. All he did was score that clutch touchdown. Was against the Giants in the back of the end zone. Clutch. That man's clutch. All he did is take that screen pass that was 2 yards, like 30 yards when we needed it. That's clutch. You can't teach that. Either you could ball or not. You know what I mean? You can't teach that though. What he has, you can't. That's called dog. He's a dog. We're keeping him.
Yeah, I think you can argue that he's the most talented guy on the roster. If what you define talent is in height and athleticism, I think he jumps the highest on the roster, and he's the tallest wide receiver on the roster. I think he has the most talent. Now Terry by far is the best receiver on the roster, but I think talent-wise, Cam Sims is. He just has to put it all together. He can't drop the football. He just too many drops for me last year, but he was the glue of the team, like the coach said. The Steelers game, like you brought up, that was incredible. That was a crazy game. He had 100 and something yards. We don't win that game. We get blown out if he doesn't make those catches. Basically, Cam Sims was really good last year. I like him a lot. He's gonna make the roster. But yeah, this group has really improved. Last year we struggled with Dontrell Inman. We even signed Cody Latimer. I mean, that was awful. Who else do we have on the roster? Isaiah Wright was playing big snaps. It was. I think we had the worst receiving core in the NFL last year. Steven Sims was bad too last year at times. So this is just a breath of fresh air. I think we have the most improved wide receiver core by far in the NFL right now. PFF has us ranked as 19th. I think that's a little too low. But I think after this year, we'll probably be at least a top 15, top 10 wide receiver core in the NFL. Alexander Wilson, thank you for another donation. He says Steve Sims Jr., AGG, and Calvin Harmon are the first outs. Yeah, I think Harmon's going to make it. Shout out to Protect Sports. He said, yo, what's good? Make sure you guys sub him up. Shout out to Rodney Ray. Shout out to Zekem. Shout out to Braden Weinberg. He says Steven Sims was a big letdown. Shout out to Alexander Wilson again. He says, "What about Isaiah Wright? Did you guys want to? Somebody can go first to answer that question."
What about him?
Who is he again?
What, like, I mean, it's Isaiah Wright. That's all I got to say.
I think speed, that's about all you can really say with Isaiah Wright.
Yeah.
He's getting cut.
And we got a lot of speed on the team. He's going to have to fight to make the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Isaiah Wright, I don't think he makes the roster. He might make the practice squad. We'll see. He muffed a punt last year against the Giants, so I was a little disappointed in some of his play. But he played pretty hard. I remember there was one play against the Browns where Haskins almost threw an interception. I think Isaiah Wright made a really good play to bat the ball down. So that was probably one of his better plays of the year. Zekem said Cam's has been a fan favorite for years. That's my only thing with him. He's really good in practice, but he has to be more consistent in the games. That's my only thing with Cam Sims. AM Hunter says Terry Curtis dynamic, Harmon AGG and Cam Sims. The last three had size and Dax practice or injury reserve. I think Dax is on the practice squad for me. So my next question is, how do you guys feel about the secondary? What would you do with Landon Collins, or what do you predict happens with Landon Collins this year? Will he be on the PUP list? Will he be on injury reserve to start off the season? What's your predictions with him? And then also, which corners do you think make the roster, and safeties? And do you think Jimmy Moreland could possibly be a surprise cut? So a lot of questions in that one. And Warpath, I'll let you go first.
So what will we do with the secondary? First of all, I'm having a yard sale, and I am putting all my 26 jerseys that Bay said I bought up the other week, and I am selling those things for bottom dollar. And Landon's butt can go too, for all I care. Get rid of him any way you can. Less is good, whatever you got, because you're not going to recoup what you got for him. But if anybody find some crackhead team that will take him, if they say we'll give you a 7th round pick, fine, we'll take it. Let's go ahead. Let's go on and take it then. With the secondary, I think you got Kendall Fuller, you got William Jackson, 3 sticks, and Ben St. Juice is a guy who is climbing up the ladder. He's becoming a OTA legend right now. I think he's going to make the roster. And then it's going to be interesting to see. You bring up Jimmy Moreland, you bring up Danny Johnson, who was pretty much our consistent kickoff return. By consistent, I mean is he didn't put it on the turf. So that's not saying much. So I mean, maybe Jimmy could be a surprise cut. I'm not too sure. And then don't forget, Greg Stroman's still on there too. What do they? Is he going to compete after he was hurt? So I mean, it's kind of that bottom half is a little suspicious. And then I think it's no question Cam Curl should be the starter. He led the team in solo tackles. He was second on the team in tackles last year. Give this man a chance. You got Bobby McCain coming in here, a guy who's played all 3 spots, or it's played 3 spots in the secondary. So he's been outside corner, he's been a safety, he's been a slot corner. So I think you got a good point there. And then Jeremy Reeves too. We got this guy coming back. My Lord, y'all. So I think at the end of the day, it's going to be McCain. It's going to be Curl. I think you're starting 3 corners will be Fuller, 3 sticks, and I think I'm gonna sip the Kool-Aid a little bit, and I'm gonna say St. Juice. I think St. Juice will probably beat out Darryl Roberts for a spot maybe on there too. So I don't think Darryl Roberts is gonna be there, but that's what I'm thinking, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do think Jimmy makes the roster, but we have so many guys now, and they got Bobby McCain listed as a DB, as a corner as well. So it's going to be very interesting. How about you, OG?
I think Landon Collins, what you can do is you're going to try to boost his value up as much as you can before the trade deadline, because the next 3 years he's on the books for $12 million 13, 12. And that is absurd for a guy who can't check. He can't even check his code in at the coat check correctly. But the corners, I think it's going to be 4 corners. And as you all stated, I do believe the People's Champ is going to make it again this year. I do believe St. Juice is going to be there. Of course, you already know we already signed my main man from Cincinnati, William Jackson III. And then you got Fuller. So I want to give Cam Curl the start, and I think he will start because we don't know if Landon is going to be able to start. But for the 4 safeties, I really don't want to lose the Cesar because not just special teams, but he's an enforcer. Did you see when we played Dallas in Arlington, Texas?
Yeah.
And that wide receiver they keep bragging about, number 88, he only caught 5 passes against us for 35 yards in 2 games. Whatever, CeeDee Lamb, he went in the end zone, he put his hands out, he saw the Cesar coming, and he put him back. When you got that type of impression, you can impose your will on soft jokers like that. You cut off the middle of the field. Mm-hmm. So it's going to hurt me if the Cesar is not on there. But unfortunately, the names that I'm going to mention is probably going to get him up off of there. And if the Landon Collins starts on a pup lift, then that means the Cesar stay on there. But we definitely know that it's going to be Bobby McCain because he's showing off. We know that it's going to be Cam Curl. Then you got Reese. So, I mean, it's tough, man. But we keep 4 safeties. We keep 4 corners. Mm-hmm. And we know we got 1 corner that can play free safety, which is Fuller. You know he can do that. And Juice can play safety because he did mention on somebody's podcast that he said that he played safety, a little bit of safety in college. So it's going to be tough, man. But I think Landon Collins will be traded before the trade deadline. And you want to boost his value up. I don't care if you get somebody's 6th round pick 2 years from now to get that cap hit up off the roster.
Yep.
Means a lot.
Yeah. I like how you say DeShazer's name. And who do you think had the better, or who has had the better Redskin or Washington football career, Landon Collins or Josh Norman?
God.
Because those are the 2 big free agents that we bought in. You know, those are the
at a certain time.
What'd you say?
What's the brother name that said you can smoke in Virginia at a certain time?
Yeah. John something.
My man John Parton.
Oh,
he had a better career than they did.
How about you, Oscar?
So Landon Collins, I think we're just gonna keep, because from what I understand is that it'll be way too much money to cut him this year. So I think, honestly speaking, he will not be given the start though. I think he would either he would be Cameron Curl's backup, if he's healthy, and if he's not, then obviously he would land on the pup list. But it'll be Cameron Curl, Jeremy Reeves, DeSazier Everett. Sorry about that. DeSazier Everett as the safeties. And then corners, it's gonna be and I forgot
Bobby McCain.
The guy from Miami. McCain, yeah. And then we have corners, Kendall Fuller, William Jackson III, and I think Benjamin St. Juice, from what I'm hearing, he has been impressive in mini camp, so I think he will be our 3rd corner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited to see William Jackson. I think he was our best off-season pickup, and I love Curtis, but I think he was probably our most important off-season pickup because he's gonna have to guard, Amari Cooper. He's gonna have to guard Kenny Galladay. He's gonna have to guard Devontae Smith, who's 110 pounds. So he's going to have to guard some really good wide receivers 6 times this year in the NFC East. So how about you, Kenny?
Landon Collins. They're not going to be able to trade him. Nobody want him. You know what I mean? They can't release him because, like Oscar was saying, it is a contract situation. So what they're gonna do is make him come off the bench. He's gonna be they're gonna spell him. They're gonna put him in certain situations, like they was doing Ryan Kerrigan, because he's on his way out the door. They're gonna do him like how they did Ryan Kerrigan. You know, they're gonna let him come in only on a third down to blitz the quarterback because he can't cover nobody. And Cam Curl is just better than him, cheaper than him, younger than him, made more plays than him, and he only been that was his rookie year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's a dog. You know, I got an eye for dogs. Cam Curl is a dog. DeShazier Everett is a dog. When I mean dog, they just don't care. You know what I mean? They play like their hair on fire. They're gonna hit you hard. You know what I mean? Short tacklers, make all the gritty plays. You know, DeShazier Everett on special teams, he's a gunner. You know what I mean? Don't forget that he was gunning before, you know, they put him, he was getting playing time. He was gunning people down on the kickoffs. So they're going to keep him. Cam Curl, he might go to the Pro Bowl this year. I just see so much talent and potential. He made so many plays. You know what I mean? I seen screen plays. He blow up in the backfield. So smart. Pick six. That brother do everything. He's a dog. He's better than Collins. So we got McCain, St. Jude's. I'm hearing things about that, but you know, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, no lies told. I mean, Cameron Crowe, he can only get better, and that's the scary thing about it, especially behind his D line too. So, he's just smart. He processes plays well. He tackles. He wraps up. He gets interceptions. He had a pick six against Nick Mullins. I mean, this is granted it's Nick Mullins, but Cam Crowe's a dog, man. And Landon, I think he's gonna be put on pup. Coming back from Achilles, it's tough to come back from that. He's already slow, so it's just gonna be rough for him to come back. But if we can use him as that big nickel, I think he can be useful. He did play well in the last game that he got hurt. That was his best game. He got a sack on. He got a safety on Andy Dalton.
Mm-hmm.
So I do want to see him come back and play well. I do want his trade value to be boosted up. But if I had to put money down, I think he's going to be released at the end of the year. And who had the better Washington career between Josh Norman and Landon Collins? It's a tough one. It really is. Raymond Bonds, thank you for the donation. He says, start Cameron Crowe. He's only getting better. He's proven to be a guaranteed tackler. Plus, he's a smart player, plays hard and smart. I mean, that's exactly what Kenny just said. So you guys we're all on the same page with Cam Crowe. I mean, I think he's going to be a Pro Bowler for years to come for sure. A 7th round steal. That's crazy. 7th round steal. Shout out to Door Gunner for the donation. He's a channel member as well. I haven't seen Door Gunner in a little while. He says Landon tearing his Achilles at his age, he is done. Hard enough to come back from that injury anyway. He was already slow, so he will even be slower. Yeah, that's what I'm saying about him too. It's going to be tough for him to come back, and unless they use him correctly, unless he's willing to listen to the coaches and they say, hey, we want you to play linebacker or whatever. It doesn't have to be big nickel as they call it. If he's willing to listen to the coaches and do that, because he's very prideful when people ask him to be linebacker. You see him on Instagram, on Twitter. You know, he'll clap back. He'll block people on Twitter and all this. He's kind of sensitive with stuff like that. So, you know, we'll see. But it is what it is. I think regardless of what happens, I don't see him on this roster in 2022. I don't see him on the roster at all. So my next question, and then I'll ask 2 more questions because I know it's getting late here. And then we'll get to a Wizards talk. I'll ask 2 or 3 questions real quick about the Wizards. A lot of NFC East fans, basically the team that had the worst defense in the NFL, and the team that we beat 41-16, the team that we beat 25-3 last year, they've been saying our defense is overrated because we beat bad quarterbacks last year. Nick Mullins, Andy Dalton, and Jalen Hurts. We beat bad teams like that. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Do you think this defense is overrated? Do you think we really are a top 5 defense? Or do you think last year, since we lost to Tom Brady and gave up 30 points, that we're really like a 10 through 15 defense? Warpath, I'll let you go first.
I can see where people are concerned at that, but at the end of the day, you can only play who's in front of you, right? Let's not forget it. Ben Roethlisberger was having a hot season, kids. When they were 11-0, and they finally, Baltimore may have solved them a little bit. Washington did that. The defense did enough to to put and I don't think people look at it this way, but against Tampa Bay, the defense did enough to keep the offense in the game, if that makes sense, or keep the offense close, if that makes sense. Now they were getting ran and gashed through, but still at the end of the day, it was still close enough to where the offense could have had a possibility to win that game. But I think that's just I think that's people poking holes in the argument. You got to play who's in front of you. You take advantage of it. I mean, let's look at who we did lose to. You played Joe Burrow for a half, and it was still a close game. And then Daniel Jones. I mean, God, Lee, come on, y'all. Daniel Jones, really? We can't solve this dude. It don't matter what it is. He ain't good. He's okay at best. But I think it's just I think these people just want something to poke a hole in and say, well, these aren't your daddy's Washington football team / Redskins or whatever, man. You go out there, you play who you got.
How about you, OG?
Man, listen to what you said, sir. The Cow Turds and the Smeagol's. Those are two teams that were favored to win the division.
Mm-hmm.
Two teams that were at the bottom of the division. Those are the same two teams whose defense is trash. At the end of the day, we swept both of them. Look what we were missing. We ain't had an inside linebacker that can move like Jamin Davis. Jarman, as my man Corey would say, Jarman. We had little shorty Ronald Darby, 5'7", over there letting Amari Cooper get the ball over top, and no discredit to Amari Cooper because he runs the hell out of some routes. But William Jackson III is not going to allow that to happen. Then we did not have our best interior pass rusher, which is Matt Ioannidis. Raise your hand up because somebody about to get the Thor hammer across their back. We didn't have that. So when you talk about we now have a Bobby McCain, somebody who actually plays free safety that can roam in the backfield, and you telling me that this defense is not serious? The commentators, the media are talking the good things about this defense. The only clowns that are talking bad about us is the ones who are in the circus cars, and they're in Philadelphia, and they're in Arlington, Texas. And if they want that smoke, you're gonna get that shit at the end of the year. We're gonna bust your head wide open to the white meat shows. You're gonna feel it this year. You think that got put out before we got a hold to him. You think that Carson Wentz was under duress the first game of the season. We're coming for your flesh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Take him to church. Take him to church. You got to do. Basically, you're saying we're going to John Bostic him, to Andy Dalton. How about you, Oscar?
Action speak louder than words. I think I see where people are coming from that. They, obviously, Washington at the beginning of the year, their defense was, meh to not that good. But as, the season went on, the defense came into their own. And, they were, in the top 10. Now, it got better. And for those who don't want to acknowledge it, that's fine. Just beware, though. Those 18 teams, those 17 teams that Washington faced this year, just beware. And if you're saying, oh, Washington's defense is overrated, be prepared to get hit in the mouth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like Chase Young did to Joe Burrow. We got better. We got Will Jack. We got Jamin Davis. And Bobby McCain. How about you, Kitty?
Overrated. Nah. They know what's going on. We might be top 3. I think we was top 10 last year. This year, we might be number 1 or top 3 based on the moves we made. Trust me, they know what's up. People know. That's why they talking about it. All we did was get better this year. We was already okay, but we just got better. We put our holes, our weaknesses, we fixed those. We addressed them. You know what I mean? I can't wait. They know that's our strongest point of our team, our defense. And it's not just our front line no more, because now you got legit cornerbacks. So guess what? What's going to happen is once we blitz and apply pressure, those good cornerbacks, they're going to pick the ball off. They're going to do what aggressive corners do, get interceptions and make plays. You know what I mean? So I overrated. Yeah, right. Keep thinking that. I love dogs and I love being the underdog. Period.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want to stay under the radar too. It's been hard to do that. The media has been loving us lately so much. Where a lot of people have been picking us to win the NFC East. Shout out to Martin Matthews for the donation. He says, "What's up, fellas? The People's Corner will make it because I can't see 6'3" Juice checking these shifty slot receivers. What do you think?" And anybody can respond to the statement, to the question.
People's Corner will be playing slot. That's what he'll be playing, that slot. He won't be out there with them tall wide receivers. As you remember, Ron drafted Josh Norman and Bradbury. These are all tall corners who like to be physical, even though they play zone. And Bradbury proved that he can play man since he's been with the New York Giants. I can't call them New York Smurfs because we haven't beaten them in 3 years, so I'm calling them the New York Giants. This dude, Juice, is going to remind us of why he draft corners like that. So at the end of the day, People's Champ will make the team, is my prediction, and he will be backing up Fuller in that slot.
Anybody else want to respond?
I agree. He's definitely Jimmy Moreland. He will make the team, but he will be in the slot behind Fuller, of course. St. Juice, reminds me, I watched this film. Linky like Richard Sherman. Linky's just like him. You know what I mean? So we're gonna see. I like physical, tall, Linky cornerbacks, and I definitely watch a lot of Will Jackson. I definitely watch a lot. Since Cincinnati, right? Cincinnati, I watched a lot of his highlights. Very physical. Fellas, we got ourselves a football team. I get ready. This shit about to get real.
Yeah.
Real.
Literally the Washington football team.
My palms sweat. I'm ready.
But thank you, Martin, for the donation once again. I'm with you on the People's Corner. I got him making it. Deshaun O'Neal, thank you for the donation as well. He says the same thing, basically. Kendall Fuller will be the slot corner, and Benjamin St. Juice will be the number 2. And then William Jackson on the other side. So that will be a really good cornerback duo with Ben St. Juice and Will Jackson. And the Kendall Fuller was really, really good at slot when he was first here with the Washington Skins at the time. He was a hell of a slot corner. So I would like to see him back in there. Hasn't played in a long time. So it would kind of be a small adjustment going back from outside to the slot, but I think he would do really well there. So thank you for the donation, Deshaun. So my last Washington question is, do you guys do you believe in the hype? We've gotten a lot of hype this year, and I don't think it's really hype, but a lot of media members have said good things about the Washington football team. Louis Riddick, Mike Greenberg, Booger McFarland, Rich Eisen, a lot of media members, the national guys have said good things about the Washington football team. Are you do you like the hype, or would you rather stay under the radar? How about you, Warpath?
I'm just ignoring it. I'm ignoring the noise because that way you can't get caught into it. This is something that you can't be. If you want to be good, if you want to be great, you can't be the underdog forever, and people are gonna start talking about you. It's just if you start saying like, "Oh, they're talking about us. They're talking about us. Well, they said this about us." No, it ain't that. You're good. Go out there, do your job. Show me that. They can tell you all they want to. They can paint the picture all you want to, but you got to go out there and execute at the end of the day. I just don't listen to it. Do I like reading it? Yeah, but I'm just like, okay. I still know this, that, and the third could go wrong. It's Murphy's Law, right? So I just ignore it. I put the blinders on and go about the business.
It is different because it's always the opposite. They always pick us to be last. They always say the Cowboys, Eagles going to be number 1 and number 2. But this year is different. I think the Giants. I think us and the Giants are going to be the top of the division. That's my prediction right now. But how about you, OG?
You know what? I don't believe it's hype. I don't believe it's overrated. I believe we earned everything that they're saying about us right now. Remember, last year, we didn't have a competent quarterback or a consistent quarterback or an average quarterback. We had the number 32 and it was a 35 and 37 quarterback. And Alex Smith and Dwayne Haskins, people keep bringing up. Number 35 and 37 out of 32 quarterbacks. No kind of consistent play with the quarterbacks. And still, we ended up winning the division, and we need a quarterback. Then we needed to take pressure up off of Terry. And we end up getting two ballers at the wide receivers, and God help you if you think you're going to not mention my main man Bates playing at that second tight end. Look, this defense has already surpassed hype. They are what you see. You can best believe every area that we were weak in, we went and fielded. That man went and put his handprint on St. Juice. Those are the kind of corners he loved. He went and put his handprint on Jarman Davis. Those are the kind of inside linebackers he loved. He went and put his handprint again, investing that we keep the same 4 core at the defensive tackles. And you talking about a healthy Matt Ioannidis, man, with Tim Settle popping and dancing and on your center and your guard, somebody better call the police or the National Guard before the game starts, because somebody is going on. You think Zeke couldn't block Cole Holcomb when he knocked him into that clown with when he wet his pampers up? What's his name? Dalton. Look, man, this team earned that physicality. There is no defense in our division that is physical like us. The Giants got the second best defense. Outside of that, there are the 31st and the 32nd defense is in our division. And those two teams are the crybabies of the East. We earned it. We earned it. We earned it. Get used to it. Get used to pain. Get used to inflicting it. Get used to us going after us. We got a legit general on defense, and his name is, man, his name is Mr. Do you hear me? That boy, number 99, the Predator, Mr. Chase Young is in the building. Holler if you hear me.
He's in the chat. He's literally in the chat.
Holler if you hear me. Woo!
Chase Young's literally in the chat right now. But another question I had real quick, Ryan Fitzpatrick over under 11 games this season starting.
Under.
How about you, Warpath?
Push.
I know you're a betting man now.
I don't know what you're talking about, Ed. I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Remember, if you have a gambling problem, remember to call the hotline.
Yeah, you heard that right, Bay. You heard that right.
I told you about the brain.
You and Kevin Sheehan, right?
There you go. I'm not even gonna say that. I'm gonna let Ed go and do his thing. But I'll talk about that behind the scenes.
How about you, Oscar?
Are we talking about the analyst thing?
Yeah.
All right. So I block it out, but here's what I also have to say about that. Just watch. When Washington has a bad game, just watch them turn their back on Washington. They're like, oh, my bad. They're like, oh, my mistake. Washington, my mistake. That's the one thing that I have against that I have for that is that they're praising Washington. They're like, oh my gosh, this is the next San Francisco 49ers. But when things go bad, they're like they take it back. Because I remember back when Alex Smith back in 2018, Washington was 6-3, and I can't remember who it was. I think it was Deion Sanders who was riding high on the Washington train. All of a sudden, when things go bad, he was like, "Oh, my bad." So that's what I have to say about that. Is that I block it out, because when things go bad, the analysts are gonna turn against Washington.
That's true. Yeah. I do remember that Deion Sanders was definitely on the Washington football hype train. I remember that he was like, Alex Smith is winning football games.
Hey, Corey.
He did switch up.
Hey, Corey, who was the GM and who was the coaching staff?
This man, Jay would be great in Virginia starting tomorrow. That's all I'd say. He'd be on a new high.
Jay smoking the J, he does.
He's talking about winning off the field the whole entire time.
No, I'm talking about blazing off the field.
Yeah, and a coach that had no idea what he was doing with talent. This is not that.
How about you, Kitty?
Defense, they travel first and foremost, and they start faster than the offense, especially at the beginning of the season. So the first 3 games, I think the defense is going to come out playing very, very well. So everybody around the league is going to be talking about us. But yes, we are going to have a bad game with someone randomly coming in and light us the hell up. You know what I mean? It just be like that sometimes. That's going to happen. But this is a marathon, right? Mm-hmm. When it get cold, them cold months, that's when the defense is going to step up. Them winter months, when them games count, December games, Thanksgiving games, you know what I mean? When it starts feeling like Buffalo season, you know what I mean? Buffalo weather, So I feel like the defense is going to play well, and they're going to live up to the hype, because it's not hype. This is who we are. Guys, we have a really, really, really good defense. You know what I mean? I know it's shocking, because we're so used to dysfunction and mediocrity. We have a good, legitimate defense. We're good. We're good on defense. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm with you. Shout out to Red Wings 01. Also, shout out to Big Simple 422. He says we lit. Make sure you guys sub him up. He's a channel member as well. Washington football YouTuber. Shout out Rodney Ray. That's my guy too. Red Wings 01 says Allen Payne United settle best defensive tackle room in the NFL. And whoever wants to respond can go ahead.
That's a good one. That's a good pick. I like it. All 4 of them. Studs.
Yeah, it's hard to argue that. It's hard to argue. I mean, the Rams, they do have Aaron Donald. They got some good guys over there. But over here, I think as a collective group, you could definitely argue us for the best defensive tackle. You can argue our defensive line to be the best defensive line in the NFL right now as well. I think a couple national media guys have us as number 1. So last question, and then we'll head up out of here. This one is about the Wizards, so we'll get to it. We'll get to Wizards talk real quick. We'll probably talk about Wizards for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then we'll head out. Probably see what's going on with the Suns and Clippers game.
Ugh.
Shout out to Reggie Jackson and Cameron Payne. AM Hunter, thank you for the donation. That's my guy. He's a channel member as well. He says Sam I Am, Cassell, or Wes Unseld Jr. Basically, that's my question too. So this is a multi-question question here. So what was your reaction to Scotty Brooks being fired? Who do you want to see as the next head coach? Would you blow the team up, or would you try to get a 3rd star? And who do you think we should trade for? Who should the Wizards really go hard after, realistically? And would you trade for Ben Simmons? Of course, OG is going to say yeah. And what do you think about Damian Lillard possibly becoming available? And Warpath, I'll let you go first.
Oh, God, I want to hear what Kenny has to say first. That's the expert, man.
Yeah, Kenny, I'll let you go first. Kenny got the Western jersey. You already know.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I love the Wizards. Let's get it. I'm a huge I'm a Westbrook guy first and foremost. You know what I mean? Ben Simmons, bro. Who are you going to trade to get Ben Simmons? Because Bradley Beal is better than Ben Simmons to me. If you're going to get Ben Simmons, he needs to be able to shoot. You got to be able to shoot when you play for the Wizards. You got to be able to set your own table, dribble. He don't got all that. He can't cross you up, step back. He's just not better than Bill. That's why I don't want him. You know what I mean? And I feel like eventually they're gonna dare him to shoot all season long. Philly had a better team than us, and he still didn't do well. So what you think he gonna do when he come here? We're gonna be sorry as shit for like 5 years if we pick up Ben Simmons. You better not get rid of Bill. Who I would go after? Is John Collins available? Porzingis, is he available?
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
God.
I mean, honestly, is Zach LaVine, is he available? We need a forward that could a stretch four that could shoot threes, that could dribble a little bit, get his own shot. We also need a guy like my favorite pick I would go out and get
Kevin Love.
No, Lou Williams.
Oh God.
Lou Williams. I like Lou. I like that guy to come off the bench. All you gotta do is give him the ball, and then you just be like, get out the way, do whatever. Don't even run the play. Just go let him go Barry Farms. You know, he remind me of somebody at Barry Farms. Just give the ball to Sweet Lou and let him do his thing. But I don't think that's enough. I really don't. We need a forward that's good. I like Hachimura, power forward, but we need somebody that could touch the floor, put the ball on the floor, give him the ball, he can just score. We need a third wheel. We don't have that. Find your third wheel, and you'll have a successful season. I would not move Westbrook now unless it's for the right price or the right player.
And Scotty Brooks is finally gone. That's good news.
Yeah, whatever. I like Sam Cassell too, by the way. He has chemistry with these guys already. I like coaches that could share the same background as our players that can relate. You know what I mean? I like a coach like you see how Kyle Shanahan, you could turn on a tape player and he'll know the Lil Wayne song that they singing. He'll sing it with them. You know what I mean? I like that type of stuff because they're gonna listen to somebody that they have in common with. Oh man. So yeah, I'm done. I love the Wizards.
Yeah, we do that. I gotta do some Wizards live streams. I gotta start doing that, so we get that.
Hey, I missed the Bullets though. I missed the Bullets. I miss them.
I miss Chris and Jawan, man. I miss those guys.
I do.
How about you, OG?
Man, first of all, I want to give thanks to our Lord and Savior for finally getting rid of Scott Brooks. He was 3 years too long, man. Thank God. There's only 3 coaches that I want, and I narrowed it down. Sam, Tim Duncan, and Rajon Rondo if he decides he wants to coach. Now, with the Ben Simmons thing, what did this team do that Ben Simmons this team don't do that Ben Simmons do very well?
Miss shots?
No, not that.
Oh.
Defense. We were averaging 120 something on us a clip. He can shut down the guy that's scoring all the points. You put number one, Ben Simmons playing out of position. Ever since they called him Lil Bronny, that just totally messed his game up. He's not that dude. And remember, nobody wants to play a true power forward anymore and get down there and get the rebounds and play the defense and get the garbage buckets. What Ben Simmons needs to do outside of free throws, heck with a jumper, he needs to know how to go to that rack like a dog, like my man, the Greek Freak. When you get in there, not all that get ready to lay it up and looking for somebody to give you a foul. Nah, flush on them. Let them know that you are that dog. That's what I would do. Look, Bradley Beal, they can sit there. I love Kenny. He knows a lot about basketball. But at the end of the day, this dude can opt out and leave at the end of the year, and you will get Nathan. Do you hear me? Nathan. So I don't want to hear, we done already wasted enough of Bradley Beal's years. Send that man somewhere. If you would ask me, Rui is the guy that's going to step up. Put Ben at the power 4, got Gafford at the 5. Russell Westbrook, look, I'm telling you, I'm gonna blow this team up. I'm gonna blow it up. Send him on out there with LeBron, since LeBron wants to take games off anyway. That's a clown move anyway. I ain't even gonna talk about that. So send him on out there with them. And if Sam, Tim, or Rondo gets the call, we'll have a true point guard. We won't have a guy that's just looking to score and turn the ball over. We're gonna have somebody that's going to lead the troops, have an understanding of the floor plan, have an identity. We don't have an identity outside of just shooting the ball. And you can send Bertans too. I'm tired of 89 million reasons why they signed him. I'm tired of that. So at the end of the day, we should have traded, instead of for Westbrook, and I love Westbrook, we should have went and got Chris Paul, somebody that's going to hold these dudes accountable. Remember, Ernie Grunfeld, that clown, thank God he's gone too. He never got Wall and Bill no veteran help. And when he did, he got Paul Pierce for 1 year. You saw what we could do with him for 1 year, and they were begging to keep him here. Then they were begging to get KD here. That's another theory for me. The league didn't want him to come here because LeBron was in the East, and you know if KD would have came here with Otto Porter, with my man Oubre and all them on the bench, KD could have played all home games, and we'd have won the East with no problem. We'd have probably destroyed the West. But that's neither here nor there. I know we got pressed for time. Do me a favor, blow that backcourt up, and let's rebuild it. It's time.
How many years though it's going to take?
It's going to take 3 or 4. You're going to have to tank. You're going to get first round pick.
Nah, you ain't got to tank. You ain't got to tank.
That's what it's going to be. They're going to be a bad team.
Look,
they're going to be a bad
already
team.
a bad team, honestly.
Well, no, they're a playoff team.
They're already
a playoff team. They're a playoff team.
Look what you're going to get back in return. You're going to get some veteran players. You're going to get some role players. And you're going to get some picks. So if you got a guy who has an identity and knows what he's doing, unlike Scott Brooks, unlike Ernie Grunfeld, you can do something. You take that chance if you want to, and Bill walk away. You know what y'all gonna be saying? Man, I wish we'd have traded him, man. I wish we'd have traded him. And Westbrook was stuck on the books for him. The Lakers want him. Send him out there, please. Send him out there. They're not going to win in the West anyway. Just send him on out there.
The thing is about the Lakers, I'll say that. I'll say this is, who are you going to get back? Are you going to get Kyle Kuzma?
No, it's going to be
a
three-team trade because they have nothing to give us. They don't have any picks. And God knows I don't want nobody on there other than Anthony Davis. And they can't afford to give Anthony Davis up because you can see the frozen one froze when Anthony Davis got hurt. So, man, get rid of that backcourt and put in the right pieces. We keep overlooking what Devin Booker came from. We keep overlooking what Ja Morant can do. We keep overlooking these dudes, man. These dudes are out there balling, and they just need some veteran experience and a coach with an identity. I don't want another Tyronn Lue. I don't want that. I don't want nobody that's already been a coach before. I want a fresh blood that he can put his handprint on this team.
How do you like Denny?
Hey, look, I can tell you what. If the Mavericks want to get involved, because they like foreign players, they already got Jason Kidd, they got Dirk Nowitzki and all them back on the coaching staff. We can go ahead and do a 3-team trade with the Lakers. Yay, man, Denny can go too. He can go.
You don't think Denny's a piece that you can build around?
I like Denny. I want Ben Simmons.
I personally don't think Denny's good.
I want him at the power.
I don't think Denny's good either.
You got he plays defense, he can get rebounds, and he can see. He can give the ball up. You got to get his confidence back. Right now, his confidence is gone. Like the boy that was from here that played with Chase Young at the Mather that got drafted #1, and he went to Philly. You see, look at the correlation. Look at everything lining up. Anytime you go to Philly, you lose it. That boy got away from Philly, and guess what he's doing? Balling. Get away from Philly. Give him his confidence back. Like the water boy. You got your manhood back, coach. You got your manhood back. Yeah.
My
And shout out to Martin Matthews for the donation. He said that we won the division without an offense this year. The defense will not be by themselves. It's about to get nasty. I love it when you guys get together, man. Thank you for checking us out, Martin, man. You've been donating all night. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate everybody who came on the stream tonight. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Denny, to be honest with you. I would keep the team together. I would give it one last hoorah. I see you shaking your head, Warpath. See if you can get a third piece. You see, but look, how did the team? Do you remember the team's record for the last 23 games? Right, we were
they were pretty good. They were pretty good. Yeah,
we were 17-6. There was a guy named Gafford who we didn't play. And once he came to the team, he changed the whole complexion of the team because we had no. Robin Lopez couldn't jump over the phone book. He wasn't blocking anybody's shot. Gafford started blocking shots. He started dunking on people. The whole team just had more energy. We got better. If we can get rid of Bertans and get another piece and get a third guy, we can at least make the 4th seed in the East. I'll say. I think the ceiling is 4th seed. And I get what you're going to say, Warpath. If your ceiling is the 4th seed, then you need to blow it up. I get that argument.
Oh, I didn't say. I wasn't going to say that. No. I wasn't going to say that. I'm just going to say this because since Bishop over here has went off, I'm just going to leave it at this. It's going to say where I come from. It says, "Beware of brief delight and lasting shame." At the end of the day, we got like one bullet in the chamber. And we're going to use that to hit a target that's a mile down the road. That's what it just seems like to me. Now, I would not go out and get the Australian disaster like Bay's talking about. I just think you got to find some. I think he's got to build a team, man. I really do, because they've been bad. They've been bad for a while. Even in the even getting to the playoffs. What were we? We were still under 5. I get it. We're in the East and everything like that. But I think at this point, you got to blow it up. And what I mean by blow it up, Tommy Shepard, this is more indictment on Tommy Shepard. They weren't even going to fire Scott Brooks. They couldn't come to it. Let's keep it honest. They couldn't come to a contract agreement. He was let go. He was able to walk on his own volition, not fired. That's an indictment on Tommy Shepard.
Yeah.
His ass should not be making decisions. If he's thinking that Scott Brooks, if you have a pulse, first of all, it took him 2 weeks. Do you know what you can do in 2 weeks? You know exactly what you can do. Brandon Sheriff could miss 2 games, maybe 3 if it's a Thursday night.
Yeah.
Come on now. Like Tommy Shepard, this team will not be good until the shadow of Ernie Grunfeld is finally, the demons are exorcised from the squad. We're playing ourselves.
Call me crazy, but I'm with third down. I think the last option is to consider bringing in Kevin Love. I think he still has a little bit left in the tank. Call me crazy. I think he has a little bit left in the tank. And I think if you look at Russ, who played with Kevin Love at UCLA, you see Russ, you see Brad and Kevin Love. That's a legitimate, strong, it's not a big 3, but it's a strong 3. And you don't give up Gafford. You give up Bertans and Denny and maybe a first rounder. You keep Thomas Bryant as well. I don't know. Well, you probably can't keep Thomas Bryant, but I think it's something they got to think about. If you want to, we're desperate right now. So if you don't make a big swing, then you might as well. If you're not going to swing for another player, you might as well blow it up. That's what it is.
I like Kevin Love.
Yeah, I think it's something. And Bradley Beal, he's going to the USA. He's doing the Olympics. Kevin Love is on the Olympic team. I don't know how that really happened, but, he's still decent. So we'll see. I don't think DeMar DeRozan would be a good fit because he can't shoot the ball, but he can still score.
He lit our ass up.
That is true. Everybody did.
Yeah, that's what I say. Who didn't?
Everybody did. So, I mean, we'll see. I hope we get Sam I Am. I hope we get your boy Travis Thomas in here. But yeah, we're going to end it tonight. Thank you guys for watching the stream. Make sure you guys sub up Warpath, sub up Kenny, man. They are good content creators. Make sure you follow DC Bay on Instagram. He's a funny guy on the gram. So, all right, you guys. Y'all have a great night. Peace.